Mater Fidelis, Ora Pro Nobis.
Once again, good afternoon, future teachers. And before anything else, gusto ko lang pong magpasalamat sa lahat po ng umattend ngayon. I know all of the College of Education students ay hindi makaka-attend dahil sa classes and also sa nangyaring sitwasyon dahil sa Typhoon Rolly. And this Eductalk installment aims to help students instill mental health awareness amid the effects of this pandemic and the recent super typhoon. So alam natin, marami tayo lahat dinadala and FTL hopes na sana with this simple event ay makatulong sa ating lahat. Okay, so to officially welcome us to the event, let us welcome the Chair of the College of Education, Dr. Jerilyn B. Magbuo, for her opening remarks.
Hello, FTL.
Hello, Nay.
Hello,
Hello
can you
po,
see
Doc
my screen?
Jane. Yes po, ma'am. Yes
All
po.
right.
Yes po.
All right. So I'd like to open this ceremony with, of course, since I'm a literature teacher, just a piece of story. There was a man passing by a herd of elephants. He suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge creatures, like adult elephants, were being held by only one strand of small rope tied on their front leg. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could, at any time, break away from the bonds. For some reason, they don't. They just stayed within the pack. Uh, and a young master was just the one pulling them. The elephants could easily stomp uh, and kill the master. He saw a trainer nearby, the master, and asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt of getting away. So the trainer replied, sabi niya, well, nung mga bata pa sila, uh, tinatalian na namin yung kanilang mga paa. We hold them down. So as they grow older, they got used to that small rope na nakatied over on their feet. So they are conditioned to believe that they cannot break away, right? They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never tried to break away or break free. And the man was amazed. These animals could at any time break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. So why am I telling you this story? Now, I'd like to share with you this very small poem I made. So pain, let it shape you and not define you. And I welcome you to this event because this event is a process of breaking the ropes that keep you tied down. And I know this session is being recorded. This is badly, badly needed. Although we have very few participants at this point because we are a large family. Um, our kids from Bicol, our kids from Albay, they badly need to hear this story more than anyone. And I think it's very timely. And so for those who are struggling at the moment and will be listening to this after, once they get their connection. So hang in there, hang tight. We are praying with you. So there, thank you FTL for organizing another meaningful event. Ms. Bautista, welcome to our co-ed family. And there, welcome Freed Elephants and enjoy the event. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Doc J. What a great way to start our event or to welcome everyone dito sa ating event. So, di natin papatagalin pa, no? So, may I call on Rose Ann Platon, our English representative, to introduce our resource speaker for this program.
Our speaker is Christine Joy B. Bautista, RPM. She is a graduate of BS Psychology at De La Salle Lipa, cum laude. She was also a board passer during the first batch of psychometrician licensure examination held last October 2014. Currently, she is taking up Masters of Science in Psychology major in Clinical Psychology at De La Salle University, Manila with 42 units. In 2008 to 2009, she was the president of Peer Facilitator Circle at De La Salle Lipa. In March 2010, she is a candidate for Brother Miguel Award, and in the same year, she was awarded as an outstanding psychology student at De La Salle Lipa. In 2009, she was awarded with merit for student leadership and creative student partner of the Council of Student Organization at De La Salle Lipa. From 2007 to 2010, she was the recipient of AIG Foundation International Scholarship Program. Currently, she is the program officer and the psychometrician of Philippine Mental Health Association Lipa Batangas chapter since 2010. Once again, please welcome our speaker, Ms. Christine Joy B. Bautista, RPM.
Thank you so much for that wonderful and generous introduction. So, before po ako mag-start, pwede ko ba munang i-request na alisin muna natin yung naka-share screen. Tapos, pwede bang paki-open muna ng inyong mga cameras para makita ko muna kung sino yung mga kasama ko this afternoon. Ayan. Sige nga, yung mga pwedeng mag-open ng cameras nila, pwede bang makita ko ang ating mga participants this afternoon? Ayan, hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. Siyempre, hi po sa aking tita. Hindi ko alam kung alam nyo na si Doc Vivian ay akin pong tita. Okay, so ako po ay anak ng kapatid niya. Kaya hindi ko din po kayo mahindian. Okay, so yan, thank you so much. Before I proceed with my lecture, reset ko muna to. Okay. Wait lang po ha. Am I loud and clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay, good.
Yes po.
Okay. So, first and foremost, thank you so much for having this topic para po sa inyong Eductalk, no? Syempre, sobrang lapit sa akin ng topic na mental health. And sobrang natutuwa ako knowing that you, future teachers, give importance in this aspect sa mental health. Kasi alam ko kung paano nyo ito magagamit in your futures. Pag kayo yung naging teacher, sana maalala nyo na meron kayong mga ganitong topics. I know meron kayo yung mga general psychology during your first years, etc. Pero mas maganda na makita natin to, mas maintindihan natin ng mas malalim kung ano ba talaga yung tungkol dito sa mental health na to. So the topic for this afternoon is Eductalk Onward, championing healthier and braver minds. Okay. So for the objectives, I was given these objectives. Okay. So one is to provide awareness about the importance of one's mental health, identify and appreciate steps given by the speakers that would maintain a healthy mental state, and incorporate mental health awareness in the teaching profession. So, i-run through natin sa inyo, ano ba yung mental health? Ano yung mental disorders? Ano yung mga symptoms na yan para alam natin yung gagawin? And lastly, what can we do? And also in your letter, it was indicated na paano ba yung gagawin when it comes to ito, yung nangyayari sa atin ngayon, the pandemic, 'di ba? So, magdi-discuss tayo about the situation and yun nga, dumating pa yung bagyong Rolly, Typhoon Rolly. What can we do as a student and future teachers? So, there. Now, tanungin ko muna kayo. Recitation pero wag kayong matatakot, walang maling sagot dito. What is mental health? I want you all to go to or use your phones or your laptops. I want you to go to menti.com, www.menti.com, and use the code 3487271. Okay. So lahat po ba may access? Makakapunta tayo menti.com and then use the code 3487271. What comes to your mind when you hear the word mental health? I want you to type in your answers. Ang ko, pwede kayo mag-type in dyan ng at least three answers. Walang maling sagot dito. Okay? So, I would appreciate if all of you will be able to answer. Naka-access po ba? The code is 3487271. I'll type in 3487271. I indicated in the chat box yung code natin. Okay? And for those na kita yung screen, this also flashed in your screens. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word mental health? Okay, so yan. Dumadating na ang mga answers. It's human psyche, feel, think, act. Ano pa? Again, walang maling sagot dito. Sabihin naman ng mga to, ano ba yan? May question and answer. Okay, stress, depression, feelings. Meron pa ba? We are, I think, 34 in this room. So, yan. Sige po. Sige. Dating lang yung mga answers. Walang maling sagot. Feel free. Ano yung unang pumapasok nyo when you hear the word mental health? Disposition. I'm reading disposition. Psychological well-being. Well-being. Emotions. Okay. Stress. Meron pa ba? Okay, so only 7 pa lang yung sumasagot. Pwede pa pong sumagot yung iba? Okay, for this word cloud, kung makikita nyo, the larger the word, it means the more people responded with that answer. So as for this, the largest word we have is emotions. Emotions followed by depression, awareness, and anxiety. Okay, so makikita natin, ano ba yung pumapasok? It's more on the emotions. Merong mga nagbanggit dito, the disposition, sanity, yes, mentality, mental well-being. What else? Psychological well-being, mindfulness, EQ, how people think, low self-esteem. Okay. Okay, sige po. Meron pa bang sasagot? So, kung titingnan natin, again, the words or majority of your answers are emotions, and then it was followed by depression and feelings. Now, let's define what really is mental health. Okay. So, mental health is a balance of all aspects of life. Comes with physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. So, ibig sabihin, balance lahat ng ito. Okay? Hindi pwedeng physically healthy ka lang. Kailangan pati emotions mo okay. Yung social skills mo okay. Spiritual mo okay. Baka kasi mamaya, oo, ikaw yung tipo ng tao na gym ng gym. Diba? very physical, very active physically, nag-zumba, o kaya nag-jumping rope. Uso ngayon yung jumping rope every day. Pero, when it comes to your emotions, hindi ka, hirap ka mag-handle. May mga problema, madali kang mag-give up. Okay? Kaya yung anger mo, hindi mo naman na babalance ng ayos or na-handle ng ayos. O kaya, spiritually, every Sunday, sumisimba ka, lagi kang nagdadasal, lagi kang nag-grocery, pero socially naman, lagi kang may kaaway. Diba? So, kung makikita nyo, walang balance dun sa aspects na yun. Kaya pag sinabi natin, mental health daw, or sa Tagalog, it's kalusugang pangkaisipan. Okay? Napakaganda ng Tagalog term, kalusugang pangkaisipan. It's a balance of all the aspects of life. So, hindi porket sinabi natin na wala kang mental disorder. Mamaya i-discuss natin yung mga mental disorders na yun. Hindi porket sinabi natin na wala kang mental disorder is mentally healthy ka na. So, hindi ganun yun. Okay? So, ngayon, given this, given yung definition natin ng mental health, paano daw ba masasabi na mentally healthy ang isang tao? Okay, sige nga, gamitin natin yung chat box. I want you to use your chat box. Ano yung mga characteristics ng tao na mentally healthy for you? Para ma-consider nyo yung isang tao na mentally healthy. Type in nyo nga yung mga sagot nyo. Sige, magkaantay ako. Okay, meron positive thinking. Ano pa? Nakakapag-handle ng stress. Okay. Ano pa ba? Optimist. May na answers pa? Okay. Okay, good. Maintain good relationship with others. Okay, very good. So ngayon, i-identify natin. Ano daw yung characteristics ng isang tao na mentally healthy? Actually, we categorize it into four main. Ano yung apat na yun? First one is a person who is mentally healthy realizes one's own potential. Okay. May self-awareness yung tinatawag. Ikaw, sa sarili mo, ano ba yung self-image mo? How do you perceive yourself? Ano yung mga hopes mo? Ano yung dreams mo? Ano yung mga bagay na kinoconsider mo as your strengths? Okay? Dapat alam natin yun. Alam natin yung mga potential natin, kakayahan natin, and even yung mga bagay na pwede pa natin i-improve sa sarili natin. Okay, so these self-images can be very positive. So giving a person confidence in their thoughts and actions, or sometimes negative, making a person doubtful of their capabilities and ideas. Pero it's important that your self-image be both positive and realistic. Di ba? Minsan sa isang tao, pag hindi sila aware sa kung ano yung potential nila, hindi na utilize kung ano yung meron. So kayo, as teachers, as future teachers, di ba, identify natin, saan ba ako magaling? Baka mamaya, magaling pala ako sa arts. Paano ko magagamit yung galing ko sa arts in the way that I teach? Okay? O mamaya, katulad ni Ma'am kanina, di ba, poetry, writing, nagamit natin yun. Kung paano natin i-approach yung kung ano man teaching strategies na meron tayo. Ito siguro, malabo na wala kayong makilala ganito. Pero, makikita nyo yung kumari, isang tao, masyado mataas yung self-esteem. Very confident siya. Pero hindi niya nare-realize yung potential niya. Example is, sa videoke. Diba? Kahit hindi siya ganun kagaling kumanta, pero dahil confident siya sa sarili niya, pag nakahawak niya ng microphone, hindi mo na yun mapapabitaw. Pero, meron naman tayong kilala na, alam natin, magaling siya kumanta. Pero dahil hindi niya nare-realize, yung galing niyang yun, hindi natin siya mapakanta sa mga school programs natin or sa mga activities mo sa edu, okay? Hindi natin siya ma-push. Kasi wala doon yung realization ng potential na meron siya. So sabi nga, finding the balance between feeling positive about oneself but having realistic goal is important. So dapat tandaan natin yun. Next. Okay. Ano pa daw yung characteristic ng isang tao mental health? can cope with normal stresses in life. So kanina, nasagot ni Roy, no? Nakakapag-handle ng stress. Okay. So resilience is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedies, threats, or other significant sources of stress. Itong nangyayari ngayon, itong pandemic, itong typhoons, nagsunod tayo, the Pinta and Roy, diba? It's very stressful. So how resilient are we? Paano ba tayo nakukuha? So sabi nga, being resilient, ito yung tatandaan mo. Being resilient doesn't necessarily mean na wala tayong pandadaan ng problema. Na hindi tayo may stress, hindi tayo magkakameron ng kahit anong difficulties. No. Being resilient means being able to adapt and bounce back. Okay. Sino ba dito sa atin ang walang problema? Sige nga, meron ba? Diba parang wala naman. Lahat tayo may pinagdadaan ng problema. Be it financial, family matters, school, yung mga load nyo sa school, diba? Lahat tayo may pinagdadaan ng problema. Your parents, meron yan. Sino lang yung wala? Ito yung lagi namin example. Ang wala lang pinagdadaan ng problema is yung mga nasa sementeryo na hindi din natin dalaw ng undas, diba? Pero that's the reality. Kaya ang tatandaan lang natin, it's more on how do we cope with those stresses na meron tayo. Okay? Our levels of resiliency will change and develop throughout our lives, and at point we will find that we do not cope as well as others. Huwag nating i-compare yung sarili natin on how others cope. Kailangan, again, babalik tayo dun sa una, di ba? Ano ba yung mga potential ko? And how can I use those potentials para makakope ako sa stress na meron ako? Next. Okay, there's my slide. Am I clear pa? Hindi naman ako masyado mabilis. Sabihin niyo ako, baka mamaya masyado ako mabilis, ha? Okay. Next. It's mentally healthy person can cope productively and effectively. Okay. Productively and effectively. Nakakatrabaho ka pa ba ng ayos? Nagagawa mo pa ba yung mga requirements mo? Yung mga officers dito, kung officers kayo ng organizations nyo, nagagawa mo pa yung functions and responsibilities mo as officers. Titingnan natin yun. Mamaya meron akong i-example kung ano yung example ng isang tao na may mental disorder na hindi na nakaka-work productively and effectively. So it's important that you work productively. And last is someone who can contribute to the community. A sense of purpose is the drive that motivates you toward a satisfying future, and also it helps you to get the most of the things to do right now. Kayo ba, sino sa inyo yung nag-volunteer sa community? Whether it's a church, o kung meron man sa, o yung may mga SK ba dito officials na ginagawa yung volunteerism? Okay? Sino dito yung nakatry? Pwedeng sumagot sa chat box. Nakatry, lalo na, January pa lang, sinubok na tayong mga Batanggenyo, di ba? Nakatry mag-volunteer ng Taal eruption, di ba? Sometimes, ayan, very good. Yan, may mga sumasagot na nag-volunteer. Thank you so much. Actually, minsan hindi natin kailangan na we do something big para makakontribute. Diba? Ako personally, what I do is to link things. Pag may alam ko na may kailangan, I share, I inform my friends, kung kailangan dito ng ganitong mga donations or something. Tapos, kami, yung magtutulungan, kami yung mag-iipon. Kasi, ako personally, hindi ko kaya ng ako lang. Na, wari ako yung mag-dole out or something. Diba? But, I inform my friends, I inform my contacts, and it's a contribution also. Minsan, kung wala tayo ng resources, we contribute our time. Diba? Kasi iba sa feeling, sobrang sarap sa feeling nang nakakatulong ka sa kapwa mo. So, yun daw, yung 4 major na tatandaan natin para masabi natin na mentally healthy yung isang tao. Ngayon, given na-define na natin, ano yung mental health? Okay. Ano naman ngayon yung mental illness? Kanina may mga sumagot, di ba? depression. Actually, mababait pa nga kayo eh. Pero may mga webinars or seminars kami. Ano yung pumapasok sa isip nila pag nadidinig nila yung mental health? Reality is baliw. Diba? May toyo, may sapa, maluwag ang tornilyo, sira ang ulo. Kasi, yun yung in general, yun talaga yung connotation pag nadidinig yung mental. Pero, syempre, as we educate ourselves, nababago din yung thinking ngayon. And now, it's important, we define what mental illness is. So, it is said that mental illness is a behavioral or mental pattern generally associated with subjective distress or disability that occurs in an individual that causes significant distress or impairment of personal functioning. So, tingnan nyo, identify nyo yung mga naka-highlight natin with blue. It's a behavioral or mental pattern. I-differentiate lang natin siguro nadidinig nyo naman yung mga Down syndrome, autism, may learning disabilities, which hindi ko alam kung meron sa inyong mag-go into field of special education, pero yun yung pag doon kayo nag-lead to, yun yung mga ma-encounter nyo. Those are not mental disorders. Those are developmental disorders. Okay? So, dapat clear tayo doon. Okay, so again, it's a behavioral or mental pattern with subjective distress or disability and causes significant distress or impairment of personal functioning. Ito lang itatandaan natin. Pag ang tao, para ma-identify natin na merong mental illness, meron siyang distress na pinagdadaanan. May changes sa kanya, sa sarili niya. And importante lagi, tinitingnan namin, does it cause danger? Danger to oneself, sa sarili niya, or sa ibang tao. Kung titingnan natin to, diba? Combination to of how a person behaves, feels, perceives, or thinks, which are not part of normal development or culture. So sa atin ba, normal ba ang hindi maligo? Hindi, di ba? Kung wari, lalo na kung 7 days ka nang hindi naliligo, exempted na lang. Ngayon, kung wari, 2 days ka hindi nakaligo kasi walang tubig. Gawa nung bumagyo, wala ng kuryente, 1 week walang kuryente, normal yun. Pero yung pag sa normal day natin, walang kahit anong pandemic na ganyan, kasi hindi ka naligo for 1 week, is it still normal? Siyempre hindi. Normal ba na tumatawang mag-isa? Na walang dahilan. Hindi yung may baka mamaya nanonood ka lang ng Netflix and all, di ba? Or ng comedy. Normal ba yung nagsasalita mag-isa? Hindi. Okay? So, tapos, this one is subjective. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na yun lang, yung na-experience niya, ganun na agad yung reaction ng tao. Diba? Kasi iba-iba tayong mag-react sa stress. Each person have different experiences. Even people with the same diagnosis. Kahit nga po ang kambal, diba? Ang kambal, OMG, it's not normal po. Titingnan natin. Mamaya bibigyan ko kayo ng discussion. Ano ba yung mga makikita natin na symptoms para ma-identify natin ano yung mental illness. Okay, hold on. So sabi nga, hindi ko alam kung kayo ba ay nagkameron ng lecture or subject of general psychology, pero it is said more than 300 mental disorders yung meron po tayo. Kami sa psychology, meron kaming book, ganito siya kakapal. We call that Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, or DSM. It includes more than 300 mental disorders. Pero ano lang yung alam natin? Depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, diba? Pero ganun siya kadami. And ngayon, hindi natin iisa-isahin lahat ng disorders na yun, but more on, identify lang natin. Ano yung mga early signs and symptoms? Okay. I'm going to discuss these early signs and symptoms, not for you to diagnose yourself. Okay? Clear po tayo na, hindi para sabihin mo na, ay wait, parang ako yun. One or two symptoms does not necessarily define a mental disorder. Clear po yun Pero, kung ma-identify natin or ma-realize natin that you are experiencing 5 or more of these symptoms, baka kailangan may kausapin na tayo to address kung ano man yung nararamdaman natin. Clear po tayo doon? So again, this is not for you to diagnose, but for you to educate yourself. Okay. Our first symptoms are, okay. Examples of signs and symptoms includes, first, major changes in eating and sleeping habits. Teachers, future teachers, anong oras kayo usually natutulog ngayon? Sige nga. What time do you usually sleep? 12 midnight. Uy, puro 12. 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 2. Is that your usual? So, kung titingnan natin kung yan yung usual nyo, tapos nagkaroon ng major sleeping, changes in sleeping habits. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka na nakakatulog nang walang dahilan. I assume kaya ganyan is kung meron bang mga requirements sa school or Netflix or laro or something, kung ano man, na dahilan ginagawa kung bakit gising pa rin ng ganyang oras. Yeah, either na may insomnia, yung hindi talaga nakakatulog without other reasons, or hindi nakakakain. Pwede din baligtad. Pwede din naman tulog ng tulog, o kaya kain ng kain. Basta makikita nyo yun na major yung changes na yun. O meron dito, overthinking, nakakaranas ng overthinking, yes. Which leads us to our second symptom, diba? Excessive fears or worries or extreme feelings of guilt. Okay? So, minsan, sobra yung worry natin sa mga bagay-bagay. Sa ngayon, actually madami talaga yung may nakadevelop ng anxiety sa panahon ngayon. Tumaas talaga yung anxiety level. Why? Hindi natin alam kung sino yung kalaban. The COVID, hindi natin alam kung sino yung kanina tayo pwedeng mahawa and all. So it's normal kasi may dahilan. Pero ito, sa isang tao na may pinagdadaanan, may mental illness, maaaring yung fears nila, yung excessive fears na yun, walang dahilan. Nagigilty sila kahit walang dapat ika-guilty. Okay? Makikita nyo yung difference ha. Yung isa may reason, yung isa wala. And other symptoms, confused thinking or reduced ability to concentrate. Hindi na makapag-isip ng ayos. Diba? It somehow connects dun sa isang sa mentally healthy, diba? You can work productively and effectively. Pero dito kasi may sign and symptom na siya. Hindi na siya makapag-isip ng ayos. Nahihirapan na siya mag-concentrate. So, it somehow affects yung working niya. Kung paano siya nakaka-work effectively. Next, ano pa yung signs and symptoms na meron tayo? Sudden changes in behavior, interest in activities is lost. Okay. So, kung makikita natin dito, napaaga pala ako. First is withdrawal from friends and activities. Pwedeng kanina, makikita natin, ina-isolate na niya yung sarili niya sa ibang tao. Sa mga classmates mo. So, careful din tayo, diba? Baka mamaya, yung nag-try tayo mag-reach out sa kanya, pero ayaw na niya. Wini-withdraw niya yung sarili niya. Hindi natin siya makasali dun sa mga activities. Or ikaw mismo sa sarili mo, parang ayoko makipag-usap sa kahit sinong tao ngayon. Yeah, isolate ko yung sarili ko. Yes, it's isolation. Next, problems with alcohol or drug use. Okay, alam naman natin na alcohol and drug use are all negative coping. Meron kasi tayong tinatawag na positive and negative coping. So, ang mag-lead into alcohol and drugs, lalo na kung nagiging excessive, diba? Sabihin natin, alcohol, occasionally po. Pero, ito yung tipong parang nandun na yung addiction to that. It's actually a problem. Ano pa? Significant tiredness, low energy, and feeling extremely sad or down. Notice the word extremely. At ito yung gusto ko ding i-reiterate sa inyo. Marami isang kabataan ngayon, masyado nilang ginagamit yung word na depression. Okay. Mare, tanong, kamusta mo? Kamusta ka? Depressed ako. Nade-depress ako eh. Depression is actually different from sadness. Kung malungkot ka, just say, I'm sad, or I feel down. Pero when you are depressed, you are actually feeling extreme sadness. Ibig sabihin, sobrang lungkot. And this is prolonged. Ibig sabihin, this sadness lasts for around 1 week, 2 months, ganun katagal. So siguro sa atin, i-practice din natin. Pag malungkot ka, just say, I'm sad. Unless you are diagnosed by a doctor that you are experiencing depression. So dapat clear sa atin yun. Kasi again, depression is a disorder. What else? So, sudden changes in behavior. Katulad ng kanina, yung mga withdrawal natin na tinatawag na isolation. Ito, kita mo dati, ang bait-bait naman niya. Parang very accommodating siya, very friendly. Tapos bigla ngayon, parang iba na yung ugali niya. Parang, pwede din ganito, interest in activities is lost. Dati, nakakasali namin siya sa mga activities. Very active siya. Mabilis mairita, yes, it will be discussed later. Sa activities natin, nabibigyan natin siya sa mga group activities. Diba? Lalo na dati, nung wala pang mga gantong webinar or online. Pero, ngayon, bakit hindi namin siya mapasali? Dati mahilig siyang kumanta, ngayon hindi namin mapakanta. Mahilig siyang mag-shopping, hindi mo ngayon mapashop. Okay. Ano pa? Delusions, detachment from reality, paranoia, hallucinations. Familiar ba kayo with delusions and hallucinations? Alam niyo yung difference ng dalawa? Or naka-encounter na ba kayo maybe in a movie or actual ba yan na nagsasuffer or nakaka-experience ng delusions and hallucinations? Meron ba dito? Hindi ko alam kung mahilig kayo sa mga horror movies. Pero madaming movies, lalo na Western, they really portrayed this one. Black Swan is one na nagpapakita talaga ng hallucinations and delusions. I'll give you an example. Delusions is maling paniniwala. Okay. Maling paniniwala. It's pwedeng delusions of grandeur, feeling niya siya yung pinakamagaling, siya yung pinagpala, siya yung pinadala ng Diyos to save everyone. Yun yung paniniwala niya. Or paniniwala na ako ay yung makakapagpagaling sa lahat ng sakit. Hallucinations naman is more on the senses. May naririnig na hindi naririnig ng iba. May nakikita na hindi nakikita ng iba. O pwede nararamdaman. Okay, meron akong client before. Kanina nabanggit, di ba? I'm with PMHE for almost 10 years now. And during my first year of work, meron agad akong na-encounter na client na ganito, patient. She actually is from Davao. Hindi ko alam kung meron dito na may relative from Davao. Pero during that time, dinala siya sa office namin and ako yung nakausap yung mga nagdala. So ang sinasabi is, hinahabol daw siya ng camera. Okay. So, yung client, babae, siguro nasa around 45 siya to 50. Tapos ang complaint is, hinahabol siya ng camera and all. Ganyan. So, trinay ko kausapin yung client, yung patient. And then, nalaman ko na yun nga, from Davao siya. Tapos, nung maikwento niya, during that time, ito po, nothing against ako, no, sa kung ano man ang government na meron. Pero, during that time, the mayor of Davao is our president now, Rodrigo Duterte. So, hindi po ako familiar with Davao before and DDS. Pero yun pala, very aware ang mga taga Davao about DDS or the Davao Death Squad. So what happened that time is, yung client ko, She flew from Davao to Manila. Pero during that time, nasa barko siya, nakita niya yung isang anak ni President Duterte na mayroong mga katransaction. And then, after siya makarating dito sa Luzon, napadalita na yung anak ni Duterte is nahuli ng police because of drugs. Delusions. Mali yung paniniwala niya. Akala niya, inisip niya talaga, na siya yung nagsumbong. Bakit nalaman ng mga pulis? So, inisip niya ng inisip yon. And because of her fear, dun sa Davao Death Squad, ang thinking na niya is hinahatol na siya ng camera dahil nga siya daw yung nagsumbong. And then, nadidinig daw niya, sumisigaw yung mga anak niya na sinasaktan sila. Another incident na nangyari sa kanya is, nakarating siya dito sa Batangas, tapos nagpunta siya sa tindahan. Di ba sa isang community, pag na nandun ka, dun ka na matagal nakatira sa community na yon, halos kilala mo yung mga tao. So, she went to a store, tapos pagdating niya sa tindahan, sabi ng tindera sa kanya, parang bago ka, saan ka galing? So, sinabi niya, from Davao. Tapos sabi ng tindera, ang mayor nyo si Duterte. So, na-shock siya. Bakit daw alam na si Duterte yung mayor? So, pinapasundan siya. So, nakikita nyo, yung thinking na yun na meron siya. And sadly, ito yung nakakalungkot. I tried to talk to somebody from Davao. Nakita ko kasi yung meron siyang yellow paper, nandun lahat, mga contact details, etc. Nakausap ko yung asawa niya. And when I asked him, ang sagot lang sa akin, ay, yaan nyo na po yan kasi sadyang nasisiraan na yan ng ulo. So, very sad na gano'n, no? Hindi ko lang alam what happened to her, pero siya ay ni-refer namin sa National Center for Mental Health para doon na i-confine. So, that's hallucinations, delusions. And funny thing, lumapit pa yung patient sa akin. As in, dinikit pa yung tenga niya sa tenga ko. Sabi niya, pakinggan mo, sumisigaw yung mga anak ko. Okay. So, that's hallucinations. And the second one, and the last pala, inability to cope with daily problems or stress. Again, that's maladaptive. Babalik related yan dun sa problems in alcohol use. Pwedeng yun kasi yung nagiging coping nila. And meron pang mas malala dito, which we will mention. Ano yun? Okay. Ayan. Irritability, sudden excessive anger, hostility, or violence. Anger is normal. It's a feeling. Normal magalit. Meron ba dito hindi nagagalit? Never pang na-experience magalit? Normal ang galit. That's one of the feelings na meron tayo. What is not normal is what we do out of that anger. Kung nakakapanakit ka na dahil sa galit mo, yun yung mali doon. Okay, nagiging aggressive ka, nagiging violent ka na. I have this another client. Dinala siya ng DSWD kasi siya po ay 16 years old. Pinag-undergo siya ng psychological assessment. Bakit siya dinala ng DSWD? May kaso siya, and ang kaso niya is murder. Yes, nakapatay po siya at the age of 16. Ang nangyari naman dito is masyado siyang binubully. Working na kasi siya that time. Binubully ng kanyang pinaka-bisor sa trabaho. Nagtatrabaho sila sa tubuhan. And because of the bullying na nangyari sa kanya, masyadong naipon lahat ng galit niya. Nasaksak niya yung bisor niya yun. And napatay niya. Pero may remorse naman yung bata. Parang inantay na lang daw niya na may humuli sa kanya. Pero tingnan nyo, nakikita nyo, ano yung nagagawa ng galit mo yun? Pag hindi natin siya na-handle ng ayos. Ito pa, ito yung madami kaming clients ngayon. Suicidal thinking and or attempts. This is different from self-harm, which is very rampant din. Madaming cases sa ngayon. Suicidal thinking or attempts, very red flag for us. Itong dalawang to. red flag in a sense na kahit simpleng thoughts yan, kailangan ma-process natin. Hindi natin pwedeng baliwalain. So kayo, magkakameron kayo ng students, kayo mismo, paano niyo inaalaga yung sarili niyo? Let's be sensitive sa mga taong nakakihalubilo natin, sa mga taong nakapaligid sa atin, family members po natin, mga friends. Pag may mga ganito, huwag natin babaliwalain. I actually have this client. Meron siyang mga suicidal thoughts. Never pa naman nag-attempt, pero may thoughts. Hindi niya masabi sa family. Bakit? Kasi, pag nadidinig ng parents niya na may mga news or sa TV, may news na may bata or student na nagpakamatay, nagbigay, etc. Sabi ng parents, nag-iinarte lang naman yan, hindi naman yan, oo, yes, kaartihan lang yan, ako, gusto lang yan ng atensyon, etc. So, yung student, yung client ko, ano nangyari? Siya mismo naka-experience na nun. Pero hindi niya masabi sa parents niya. Kasi, alam na niya na ganun yung thinking nila. So, paano pa nga daw siya sasabi? And true, everything na yan, it's because of the stigma. Diba? Very negative kasi yung thinking ng ibang tao about these issues. Nandun yung stigma. Minsan nga, yung iba takot makipag-usap sa isang psychologist, lalong-lalo na sa psychiatrist, kasi iniisip agad nila, ano yung sasabihin ng ibang tao? Or pag nagpunta ako dito, baka sabihin nila, masisiraan na ako ng ulo, etc. Diba? O, akala nila, baliw na agad. Pero hindi. Lumapit sa isang psychologist, it's more on paano natin matutulungan yung sarili natin o matutulungan yung ibang tao na may pinagdadaanan ganito. Diba? Hopefully, ilan tayo dito sa room na to? We are almost 37. Diba? Makatulong namin kayo para ma-lessen yung stigma na meron. Maalis, hindi man natin maaalis yan 100%, pero ma-lessen yung stigma. You will be future teachers. You will educate your students. And hopefully, kasama to sa maiituro nyo sa kanila. Clear ba tayo doon? Makakatulong ba namin kayo doon? Kasi kami, hindi namin to kaya. We are only 4 in the office. Ang sakop po namin is the buong Calabarzon. So, hindi namin kaya ng kami lang. We need you. We need your help. Okay? So, given natin yung mga symptoms na yon. I mean, maaaring yung iba doon, meron kayong experience o may kakilala kayo na nakaka-experience. The question now is, ano ba yung dahilan? What causes those mental disorders? Anong dahilan? Bakit meron nun? So, kami po sa psychology, we always use this approach, the biopsychosocial model. We believe there is no single cause for mental illness. Okay? So, halo-halo yan. The biological, psychological, and social. Sabi ka, nung isa namin naging speaker before, yung nagko-comprise na kung ano yung personality natin, even our happiness, etc. It is dictated by our genetics, by our attitudes and actions, or our personality mismo, and the life circumstances. Genetics, it's 50%. So makikita nyo, ganun kalaki yung sa genes. So ibig sabihin, yung mga mental disorders or either yung personality pa lang ng isang tao, malaking factor na yung family. So makikita nyo din kasi yan sa family, ba? Sa isang family, hindi ko alam kung na-experience nyo yun, pero pag wala pang pandemic, pag may mga events or mga group projects, di ba, pumupunta tayo sa bahay ng kaklase, etc. Makikita nyo doon yung family nila. So, yung isa, talagang kuwari, very joker sa school, pag nagpunta ka sa bahay, ay, ganun din naman pala kasi yung tatay and nanay. Tapos yung isa naman na very tahimik, pwede, yun din. Pagdating mo sa bahay nila, tahimik din sila talaga sa family. It's the genes. And yun yung sinasabi natin, mental disorders, yung mga iba't ibang mental disorders na yun, sad to say, is hereditary, genetics. Pero, same nung ibang mga sakit, diba? Meron tayong, ano pa yung genetic disorders natin? cancer, kaya diabetes, namamana yan. Pero it doesn't mean na nasa lahi, lahat kayo sa family magkakameron. Hindi ibig sabihin na gano'n. Okay? Pero, prone kang magkaganon. Kaya, importante, you take care of your own mental health. Paano mo aalagaan yung sarili mo? So, that's 50%. 40%, it's your attitudes and actions. Ano yung thoughts mo? Ano yung feelings mo? How do you decide for yourself? It's more on ikaw mismo sa sarili mo. And the 10% is the life circumstances. Ano yun? Yung mga nangyayari sa'yo. Kaya hindi natin pwedeng sabihin. Yung iba kasi, di ba, sinabi ay, hiniwalayan lang ng boyfriend niya or girlfriend niya. Nagkaganyan na yan. O kaya, bumagsak lang sa exam. Nagkaganyan na yan. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, yun yung dahilan. Kasi madami. Madami tayong creative point. Those are just triggering factors. Na-trigger lang siya nung sitwasyon na yun. Hopefully, we are clear with that. Diba? Hindi yun yung didictate or hindi yun yung nagiging dahilan kung bakit nakakaranas yung isang tao ng ganito. So, again, that's biopsychosocial. Next. So, the good news about this is mental health illnesses are treatable and manageable. Yes, it is lifetime, lalo na po yung mga schizophrenia na malungkot sabihin for us, pero once meron ka nun, forever yun. Pero it can be managed. Kasi ako personally na-experience and na-encounter ko na yun na yung mga patients namin before, nakakabalik sila sa trabaho, nakakabalik sila sa school. Diba? So, hindi pwedeng malimit yung disorder na yun kung ano yung kakayahan mo. Early recognition of those mental health problems, referral to the right resources and adequate treatments can help people get on the path to recovery. Kaya itong ginagawa natin ngayon, di ba? To educate ourselves. Parte to ng sa awareness na yun. Kasi makita nyo, simple pa lang, o kaya nalaman na natin, ano yung mga signs and symptoms, ano yung dapat kong bantayan para masabi ko na, ay, baka kailangan ko na ng tulong or baka yung isa kong friend, baka kailangan ng tulong. Simple pa lang yung symptoms, maaagapan natin. Hindi yung aabot tayo na kailan tayo lalapit pag nagkameron na ng attempt. O kaya, nakakapanakit na siya. Which it happens sa mga nakakausap namin sa barangay. Kailan ilalapit? Nakagatos na yung pasyente. Naghahabol na ng kutsilyo or something. So, yun yung iniiwasan natin. And now, the question is, what can we do? Ano yung mga pwede natin gawin? It's important. Awareness. Awareness is the first. So as you grow in self-awareness, you will better understand why you feel what you feel and why you behave as you behave. So that understanding then gives you the opportunity and freedom to change those things that you don't like about yourself. Tapos create a life that you want. Na-identify niyo ba? Aware ba kayo sa strengths and weaknesses niyo? Diba? Importante yun. We are aware of our strengths and then use those strengths para ma-improve natin kung ano man yung weaknesses na meron tayo. Sobrang importante ang self-awareness when it comes to mental health. Kasi hindi mo alam na kailangan mo ng tulong kung hindi ka aware, diba? So, bakit ka lalapit for help? Kailan ka lalapit for help kung hindi mo alam na kailangan mo na pala ng tulong? Being aware is important. Thus, self-awareness. When we want good, solid information, we turn to the expert. And now the question is, who's the expert? Sino yung lalapitan mo para makakalap ka ng information about yourself? Sino? Pakilagay nga sa group chat, sa chat natin, sa chat box. Sino yung expert pagdating dito? Is it our parents? Is it our best friends? Our partners? So kayo, when you want a good, solid information about yourself, sino yung lalapitan nyo? Sige nga. Mayroon ba? Anong sagot ng iba? Use the chat box natin. Teachers ba yan? Ma'am, ano bang masasabi mo tungkol sa akin? Guidance counselor, psychiatrist, ano pa? Good, solid information. Someone who we can trust. Yes. Mga taong nakapaligid sa atin. Diba? Okay. Our partners, our parents, etc. Friends. Actually, the correct answer is Hannah's Lewis. It's yourself. Diba? Sarili mo yung expert pagdating dito. No one, even your closest best friend, even your parents, may mga bagay ang mga yan na hindi alam tungkol sa'yo. Hindi nila alam 100% kung ano yung, kung sino ka. Diba? Hindi naman natin lahat ibubunyag or open book tayo sa kanila. So, the expert really is ourselves. Okay? So, importante yun. Sarili mo lang yung makakatulong sa'yo. You need the help of others actually. Pero, one big percentage of this is you help yourself. And you are aware of yourself. Okay? So, now, given those, ano po yung tips natin for having a good mental health? Kasi yun din naman yung purpose natin for this afternoon. Okay. So, we have probably heard different ways to take care of our body. Diba? Kung paano natin naalagaan yung sarili natin. Pero, hindi nyo ba alam na dapat alagaan din natin yung utak natin, yung sarili natin, yung isip natin. We need to take care of our minds. So mental health is the way we think and feel about ourselves and the world around us. So when we practice good mental health, it is easier to handle stress and other problems. So ito yung sinummarize natin siya into five. Kung paano natin ma-develop yung mental health natin. So first is taking care of our body. Next is practicing healthy thinking, slow down, have fun, and reach out. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Okay. First is we take care of our body. So, our bodies and minds are connected. When we take care of our body, you also take care of your mind. So, how do we take care of our body? One is to eat well. Okay. Kailangan daw healthy yung kinakain natin because food is our fuel. Kung sa sasakyan yan, yung pagkain, yung gasolina natin. Diba? It's important that we have the nutrients that our bodies need. Baka mamaya kasi, ano ba yung ini-intake natin? Puro na lang ba yan fats? Puro sugars? Okay. Puro alcohol? Puro matatamis? We have to balance everything. Healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains give us the nutrients to work our best. So, eat regularly. Avoid skipping meals. So, ngayon, nauuso yung mga diet, diba? Yung mga OMAD, 1 meal a day, o kaya yung mga fasting. Yung iba, nag-skip ng breakfast. Okay? So, breakfast actually is the most important meal of the day. So, it's important na we eat regularly and healthy. Watch out for too much caffeine. Meron ba dito na hindi tatapos sa isang araw na hindi nagkakape? Okay? Meron ba na parang coffee a day keeps the doctor away ang ped? Diba? Too much caffeine actually is medyo mahirap din. Diba? So, dapat ililimit din natin yung sarili natin. Caffeine, ano pa, it actually kasi adds to the anxiety, feelings of anxiety. Pero syempre, iba't iba naman yan, di ba? Pwedeng, doon po talaga ako sanay. It's more on, babalik tayo, awareness. Hanggang saan ba yung limitation mo on taking caffeine? Okay. Also, aside from caffeine, we must watch our alcohol use. Okay, so yung alcohol, actually, it just hides problems for a short time. Diba? Panandalian, makakalimutan yung problema mo dahil dun sa alak, yun yung sinasabi nila. Pero, na-address ba yung problema? Hindi. Diba? So, watch out for that alcohol use. So, yun yung atin sa eat well. Next is exercise. Nakakapag-exercise pa ba kayo? That's the question. Nakapag-exercise ka ba? Hindi na. Yung dati, nung walang pandemic, nakakapaglaro pa ako, basketball or kung ano man. Ngayon, ang exercise na lang, hindi ko alam kung nakaka-relate ha. Daliri. I know this. Nakikita ko yung mga kapatid ko. Dahil sa games, yun na lang yung nalalaro. Diba? Yun na lang yung nagpa-practice na exercise. O yung mga nasa TikTok na lang. Yung mga dance ata doon, etc. Ewan ko ba. Pero, it's important that you exercise your bodies. Kailangan. Siguro kahit daw 10 minutes. O sa ngayon, dati kasi madali. Makapag-walking man lang tayo, di ba? Sa mga babae, kahit yung window shopping, exercise yan. Kasi it's walking. Pero ngayon, hindi natin magawa. Pero let's find time. Why? But because exercise actually helps us cope with stress, lowers anxiety, lifts our mood, and boosts our energy. So, kung hindi daw kaya na yung mga exercise, kahit 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day, diba? Simpleng stretching, kayo, nauso ang online class. Yes, gawaing bahay is an exercise. Yung mag-mop ka ba naman ng bahay, magwalis. Diba? It's an exercise. Ano pa? Yung, anong tawag dito? Kayo kasi, online class. Baka mamaya masyadong focus na sa laptop, sa mga cities. Pag ganun, from time to time, tayo muna ng konti. Diba? Stretch muna tayo. It's a form of exercise. Okay? And last, in taking care of our body, is to get enough sleep. Kanina tinanong ko, anong oras kayo usually natutulog? Now, the question is, ilang oras yung nagiging tulog mo? On the average. Nakakailang oras kayo ng tulog? 4 to 6? 4 to 5? 5 hours? On the average? Okay? Okay. So this group, usually average nyo is 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 6 hours rather. Okay. The normal is 6 to 8 hours. Alam ko aware kayo dito. So, ang body natin regenerates when we sleep. And even our minds regenerates when we sleep. The ideal actually is that you are sleeping sa oras ng 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Dapat daw tulog tayo dun sa span ng 10 to 2 or 10 to 3. Tulog yung katawan. Kasi yun yung oras na nagre-regenerate yung body. Nagre-recharge. Cellphones natin, di ba, kailangan i-recharge. Laptops natin, lahat ng gadgets, kailangan i-recharge. The same way ng katawan natin. We need to recharge our body. Kaya, kung kaya i-try, may gagawin siya hanggang 10 o'clock. Tapos, pahinga mo yung sarili mo. Then, try mo na lang gawin ulit ng the other day. Gumising ka ng 3:30. Kasi sabi na, hindi talaga, late person ako. Meron ba dito nun? Meron ba dito na, sa job late, ako, parang evening person na mas nakaka-work po ako paggabi. Babalik ulit tayo sa awareness. Pero, it's actually a good practice that you take good care of your body. Kasi sa ngayon, maaaring hindi nyo nararamdaman yung effect. Pero it will take effect pag edad natin. Okay? Sa ngayon, kasi syempre bata pa kayo eh. Pero it's important. It's important that you practice that one. So, after taking care of your body, ayan, di ba? Makaka-relate, mga evening persons, mga late persons, hindi ko po kayang gumising ng madaling araw para mag-aral. Okay. Next, practice healthy thinking. So we need to watch for thinking traps and We need to learn how to solve our problems. Actually, good mental health does not mean na we only have happy thoughts. Okay? Hindi naman porket sinabi natin na mentally healthy yung isang tao, masaya lang siya everyday, na hindi siya nakakaranas ng problema. Same as, di ba, na-explain natin kanina yung sa resilience, na being resilient doesn't mean na hindi ka makakaranas ng distress. Okay? So, sad or upsetting things are part of life. Problems are also part of life. Sino dito yung nakapanood ng Inside Out? Meron ba? Yung animated film na Inside Out. Actually, sobrang ganda ng movie. It really portrays yung emotions na meron tayo. Yes, si sadness. And isa sa na-take home ko talaga from that movie is we need to appreciate or acknowledge the sadness that we have in order for us to appreciate more the joy. Diba? Parang kailangan accept natin, acknowledge natin na ay, nalulungkot pala ako, ay, may problema pala akong dinadaan. Kasi, kung puro na lang tayo saya, di ba? Parang, hindi naman normal yun. Ano yun, nagde-deny lang tayo na meron tayong pinagdadaan. Okay, so, we need to practice this one. And watch for thinking traps. Kanina may nagsabi, di ba? Yung overthinking. Actually, overthinking is an example of thinking traps. Yung thinking traps na to, minsan, we think that something is bad or something bad might happen na parang na-focus na tayo dun sa thinking mo. Nakalimutan na natin na, ay, wait lang, meron naman pala akong pwedeng gawin. Para sa project mo, kung may problema daw tayo, may hindi maayos na ganito, doon na lang, na-focus sa negative na yun. Nawawala na yung options na, wait lang, marami tayong pwedeng gawin para maayos yan. Maayos kung ano man yung problema. So, watch for the thinking traps. Yung pessimism, di ba? Yung negativity. Na parang lahat na lang may negative. Bawat sabihin mo, negative, may, parang may kontra lagi. May kumukontra lagi sa kung ano yung thoughts na meron ka. And solve your problems. Okay. In solving your problems, first, we must decide ano ba yung problems? Ano yung problema natin? Tapos, think of different solutions na pwede natin gawin para mas solve yung problem na yun. Take the solution that you think will work best and decide what you need to do to try your solutions. Put your plan into action. Baka mamaya, nag-isip ka lang na nag-isip ng solution, pero hindi mo naman tinitake into action. Tapos, kung hindi mag-work yung plan, again, ilang alphabets meron tayo? A to Z, 26. Kung meron tayo ng mga plans na yun, hindi nag-work si plan A, then I'll go to plan B. Then, kung hindi pa rin, I'll go to plan C. And then, hindi tayo tigil. Pagkat hindi natin, isa-solve kung ano man yung problema. Huwag tayo magpapatalo dun sa thinking traps na meron. What else? Next is, we need to slow down. We all need to take time to make things, to identify, to relax. Diba? It's actually a big part of managing our stress and enjoying our life. Minsan, etong generation na to, tandang tayo sa generation na everything is instant. Gusto natin lagi mabilisan, mabilis. Gusto natin may sagot agad, may output agad. Pero, at some point, we need to take time to slow things down. Just relax. Katamaran daw yan. Oo, may madidinig tayo. Actually, that's the gap. Yun yung mahirap dun sa generation. Diba? We hear things, kaya dapat may educate din natin yung tao eh. Kasi katamaran is very different from taking time to relax. Taking things slowly. Okay. So, bakit? When we relax kasi it's easier for us to see the problems and solutions clearly. Diba? It's easier to manage difficult feelings. Yung relaxation, ikaw, yung depende sa'yo. Pero, naganda kung sa family mo na sasabi yan or nadidinig yan, um, maganda is communicate with them. Lalo na, explain mo, ito po yung pinagdadaanan ko. Ito yung mga ginagawa namin sa school. And I need to relax myself. I need to relax myself. It's more on communication. Diba? How you communicate with the people around you. Kasi baka mamaya ang pagsasabi mo naman ay paangil. Diba? Kita nagre-relax na ako. So, iba yung dating doon. So, mamaya, titingnan natin. Diba? Pero, yes, it's important to slow down. Slow down a bit. Minsan, mag-spend ka ng time na wala kang gadget. Alisin mo muna yung mga gadgets mo. Kung kailangan mo matulog for ilang hours, baka naman mamaya, titingnan din natin. Kasi baka mamaya, yung itinulog mo pala, halos buong hapon ka ng tulog. Diba? Kaya sabi nung, baka kaya sabihin nga ay katamaran daw. Pero, again, it's up to you kasi kung paano ka magre-relax or mag-take things slow. And how will you communicate those ideas to your family? Yes, time frame is important. Hindi naman natin sinabing magre-relax all day na yun, di ba? And, eto, have fun. Okay? Doing things we enjoy is good for our health. It helps us feel refreshed and helps us feel good about ourselves. Then it is easier to cope with stress and other problems. So, ano ba yung nakakapagpasaya sa'yo? Importante to still have fun. Baka mamaya puro work lang, work, o kaya school requirements ka lang. Nakakalimutan mo na talaga yung sarili mo, kung paano ka nag-enjoy. Okay, pwede kang manunood. Again, yes, totoo ito. Time management. It's more time management talaga. Importante yun. Di ba? Yung set your time. Kayo may mga schedules kasi kayo, di ba? Sa school, ito yung classes, ganyan. Tapos, yung mga requirements, actually, napag-usapan namin yan one time, yung mga friends ko. It's difficult being a student, actually. Lalo na yung nasa academe, yung sa work sa academe. Sa isang tao na nag-work sa office, our time, lalo na ngayong online, it's 8 to 5. After 8 to 5, tapos na. Pero sa isang student, sa isang teacher, kahit yung classes mo, 8 to 5, pero after the 5 p.m., may mga requirements ka pa, tama? May mga paperwork ka na kailangan ipasa, may mga may mga modules ka na kailangan sagutin. So, yung 5 onwards mo, kaya yung iba dito, natutulog ng 3 a.m., 2 a.m., dun mo naman ginagamit. Pero, again, it's more on time management. Yung singit lang tayo, kahit 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your time to have fun, to relax. Ako, ginagawa ko ng college, lalo na ng college. Tsaka nung nag-masters. After 1 hour ng pagbabasa o kaya anything that I do, parang sasabihin ko, I reward myself pag nakatapos ako dito. Either kakain ako ng something or maglalaro ako sa phone or manunood ako ng something that I want for 15 minutes. Tapos, tsaka ulit ako mag-work. Parang may nilulook forward ka kasi. Kaya ka nagpa-time management. It's important to reward yourself for something that you accomplish. Even the smallest things that you accomplish. Okay. And, lastly, in order to develop healthy mental state is to reach out. The people in our lives are a big part of our own mental health. We need to help each other out, share the good times, and learn from each other. So, it's important that we connect with others. Social networks, big part yan ng overall mental health natin, lalo na ngayon, lahat online. So, reaching out to people is also online. Online na siya, di ba? Pero we need to be careful. Kasi, hindi ko alam kung nakita niyo to, pero there was a post that I saw before which is very, very true, di ba? While social media or cell phones or gadgets connect us to people who are far from us, yung mga hindi natin kasama, it somehow disconnects us to the people who are with us, sa family members, di ba? Oh, mamaya, nasa bahay nga, magkakasama kayong pamilya, lalo na ngayon, pandemic, lockdown, magkakasama tayo sa bahay. Pero lahat, anong nangyayari? Hawak yung cellphone. Kachat si ganito, kachat si ganyan, etc. O may ginagawa. Yes, social media, social networks is important. Pero we need to balance our use of social media. Okay? So, some people are good at sharing different views, point of views. This can help us look at problems more realistically. Kaya importante din mo, may nakakausap tayo. May nasa-sharean tayo ng information na meron tayo. Pero, the big question now is, how about this pandemic? Ano po ngayon? Ang daming nabago. Diba? Kayo, ano yung na-miss nyo na mga bagay na hindi nyo nagagawa before? Hindi nyo nagagawa ngayon, pero nagagawa nyo before. Ano yung mga bagay na na-miss nyo? Na na-restrict tayo dahil may pandemic. Hindi ko na ito magawa. Kain with friends? Yes. Samgyup ba yan? Actually, nami-miss ko yun. Ang kulitan with classmate, bond with friends. Yes, ano pa? Chikahan with friends sa school. Mahirap mag-chikahan ngayon pag nasa... Ang gamit niya ba sa school ay itong Google Meet? Medyo mahirap mag-chikahan, no? Unlike before. Okay. So, travel, paglolomi. Naku, lalo na pag malamig. Maglolomi. Okay. Magsimba sa church, yes. Paglalaro ng volleyball. After class, bonding after class. Yes, totoo. Madami tayong namimiss. Diba? Pagpunta sa bahay ng kaklase, lalo na pag-testahan na. Okay? May mga group projects. Group projects na half ng time ay more on chikahan, kwentuhan, kulitan. Tapos half yung paggawa ng project. I know that. I experienced that. Okay. Pero, eto nga, dumating, meron tayong COVID. Okay. And this COVID outbreak is proven stressful. Pero ba dito hindi natakot? Hindi na anxious? Hindi na stress? Because fear and anxiety is overwhelming and cause strong emotions, both in adult children and teenagers. Like you. Okay, so, sabi ng isang psychiatrist in the US, si Dr. Ravon Bach, all aspects of life are affected by the pandemic. It was like one day and everything changed. Diba? Wala naman nag-expect na mangyayari to. Sabi ko nga kanina, January pa lang, sinulot ng Batangue. January 12, nung pumutok yung bulkan. And then, March 17, nag-lockdown. I think parang sa mga estudyante, because I know this from my brother, mga estudyante, wala parang isang buwan yung naging normal classes nila. Kasi, hindi agad nakapag-klase because of the eruption and then biglang naputol naman yung classes because of the pandemic. It's very stressful, di ba? Sobrang iba yung feeling na nasa bahay ka lang, ito lang yung ginagawa mo. Lalo na nung time na wala pang mga online class. Nung umpisa siguro, ay, ang saya, wala akong ginagawa. Wala akong trabaho, wala akong klase. Pero, first 2 days lang ata yun, first 1 week. Tapos tsaka ka na makakaisip, what will happen next? Diba? That causes anxiety, meron tayo. So, it's said that stress during infectious disease outbreak can include 1, fear and worry about your own health and the health of your loved ones. Diba? Lalo na po yung may mga matatanda na kasama o may mga bata or ikaw mismo na alam mo sa sarili mo na meron kang yung health mo, physical health mo is not that good. Diba? Madali kang mahawa sa mga sakit. Nandiyan fear and worry. Changes in sleep and eating patterns, nagbabago. Difficulty sleeping or concentrating, worsening of chronic health problems, worsening of mental health conditions, and increased use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. Kung titingnan mo, di ba, all these effects, all this stress are included in the early signs and symptoms na diniscuss natin kanina. So, itong anxiety during this time of COVID is actually normal. Nangyayari talaga po. Diba? Sabi ko nga kanina, walang naman hindi na anxious. Kung tayo, imagine na lang this. Kung tayo na normal, ibig sabihin, walang mental disorders na kahit kung ano, na anxious dahil sa nangyayari. How much more yung tao talaga na diagnosed with anxiety? O yung tao na meron talaga pinagdadaanan psychologically. Paano sila nakaka-cope with this? Okay. So, now the question is, what can we do? What can you do? Okay. So first, during this pandemic, we should focus on the things that we can control. Importante po. Pandemic man to, o kaya because of the typhoon, let us do things that we can do to prevent kung ano man yung spread, like the personal hygiene, cleaning our surroundings, doing our daily activities while being conscious of maintaining physical distance. Ano pa ba yung mga things na kaya natin kontrolin? Wearing a face mask. Diba? Kung sa tingin mo, may pinuntahan kang lugar, sila, walang distancing, ikaw na yung sarili mo, may gumawa ng paraan. Huwag ka nang gagaya sa kanila. Because this is just the few of the things that you can control. Okay? And be mindful, be reminded that we use physical distancing, not social distancing. Explain natin later. Next, remain calm and composed. So while it is difficult to maintain composed during crisis, simple mindfulness exercise will help. So kasamahan niyo ng slow down natin kanina. Next. Sorry. Hindi pala nag-move ang aking slide. Ayan, remain calm and composed. And then, digital detoxification. Have you heard of this? Or have you tried doing this? Digital detox. So, although we get information from our social media accounts, a number of other informations are under-verified or unverified and at times fake. Diba? Fake news. It's very helpful actually kasi triggering usually ng fear and panic yung mga nababasa natin. Okay. So yan, may mga nagsasabi, yes, na-try na nila social detox. It's super, super helpful. And I agree with it. Super helpful yung digital detox. So, pag nakakaramdam ka na parang super overwhelmed ka na sa mga bagay, conscious, parang may mga ginawa ka na exercises, pero nandun pa rin yung feeling na parang hindi ako okay kasi kung ano-ano yung nababasa ko. And at times, hindi natin naiiwasan. We tend to compare ourselves to the things that we see on social media. Again, wag po natin ikukumpara yung sarili natin. Iwasan natin ikumpara yung sarili natin to the things that we see on social media. Because usually, people post what they want others to see. Diba? Hindi naman lahat ng tao ipopost na kung ano man yung mga pinagdadaanan niya. Siyempre, ipopost na lahat ng highlights na meron siya. But we don't know kung paano siya nagsasuffer deep inside. Kaya hindi natin pwedeng i-compare. Bakit siya ganito lang yung mga post? Kasi ako parang, pwede negative lahat ang nangyayari sa akin at wala akong ma-broadcast sa ibang tao. But basically, you don't need to broadcast everything. Diba? So, digital detoxification. If there's a difficult person na na-encounter mo, kung kailangan i-hide, i-unfollow, i-block, do it. It's part of digital detoxification. May mga page ka sa Facebook na feeling mo parang ang negative na dating sa akin, unfollow. Yun yung mga bagay na pwede natin gawin. Okay? What else? So, try nyo yun. Siguro, minsan, kumari, one day na hindi ako mag-Facebook o hindi ako kahit anong social media accounts, schedule nyo yun. Very important. Spend quality time with our loved ones. Ito yung next. Okay? Make use of the forced time at home to spend quality time with your loved ones. So set schedules that you can do as a family. Diba? Make it a priority to stay in touch with your friends and family. So, dito papasok yung um, wise use of social media. While in-person visits are limited, substitute video chatting if you're able. So, kung hindi pa nagagawa sa inyong family, baka pwede ikaw yung mag-initiate. Kung paano, mag-home movie time ba kayo? May isang date talaga or day within the week. Kaya yun yung gagawin nyo as a family. Or kung Google Meet meeting ba yan with your friends. Diba? Or minsan with other relatives. Kasi syempre wala tayong nagagawa ngayon ng mga, anong tawag dito? Reunion or gathering. So, let's use this time. Spend quality time. Next, share your resources to those who are in need. Because sharing is caring. Part din kanina, di ba? Babalik at babalik tayo dun sa apat na ways paano natin masasabi na mentally healthy yung isang tao. It's volunteering, charity, caring. So, a lot of people or social media posts mention that in this pandemic, we are on the same boat. But in reality, we are not. Okay, so we are on the same ocean. This is my personal thinking. We are in the same ocean with different type of boats. Pwedeng yung iba nasa barko, yung iba nasa balsa lang. So, might as well, we use those different resources that we have in order to share and help others. Because giving others, sharing to others is actually giving a sense of fulfillment that boosts our self-esteem. And lastly, is we strengthen our spirituality. No matter what our religion is. Kahit ano pa yung religion na yan. One of the source of strengths that we can go from this belief is that a higher power is still in control. So, kanina meron, di ba, nakabilis na sumimba sa church talaga. I agree. Iba yung pakiramdam na nasa simbahan pa mismo. Kung anong church man yan ba, Catholic man yan or INC. Pero during this time, it is important that we strengthen our spirituality. So remember, okay? Always remember. It's okay not always be okay. Nabanggit natin yan kanina. During the inside out. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be lonely. Diba? It's okay to talk about your problems. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you vulnerable. But it will ultimately makes you stronger. So let us be reminded that it's okay to admit you're not okay, but don't stay not okay. Everyone has rough patches and bad days. When you feel like you failed, o kaya days na parang you didn't do good enough or feel good enough. But those days will pass. Even this pandemic will pass. This typhoon, effects of typhoon will pass. Okay. So, it's okay to be okay as long as you don't stop trying to be better along the way. Right? And with that, let us be reminded also, let's stamp out stigma attached to mental health because no health, there is no health without mental health. Remember too that our own mental health affects the mental health of those around us. So it is very important to take care of our own well-being, not only for ourselves, but for those who truly matters to us. And that goes my ending. So thank you so much for listening. And I hope may mga nakuha kayo na points for this afternoon. So here are my references. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Christine, for that very informative talk, especially po doon sa mga tips na binigay niyo on how we can care for ourselves. And I know hindi lang ako, but every one of us here ay may nakuha mga valuable insights kung paano natin aalagaan yung sarili natin and yung mental health natin. No? Indeed, hashtag, di ba? Hashtag mental health matters. So again po, thank you so much po, Miss Kay. And I know you have questions, guys. So if may question kayo, pwede na kayo mag-chat box. We will be having a short question and answer later with Miss Christine. But before that, let me award the Certificate of Appreciation to our resource speaker for this afternoon. So Certificate of Appreciation. So this certificate is awarded to Miss Christine Joy B. Bautista for sharing her time and expertise as a resource speaker in the Eductalk with the theme Onward, virtually given this 4th day of November 2020, signed by yours truly, President of the Faith Teachers League, Dr. Jerilyn B. Magbuo, Advisor of the Faith Teachers League and the Chair of the College of Education, and Dr. Vivian B. Tular, Dean of the College of Education. Thank you po again, Ms. Christine. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
po.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so now guys, it's your time to shine. So if you have questions, this is your time. Pag may question kayo you want to ask Miss Christine, please comment pa kayo sa chat box kasi yun. So yung mga questions po, pwedeng kayo mag-chat sa chat box. So I would like to start the question. So I have a question po sana Miss Christine. So
Yes.
tanong ko lang po, ano po kayong pwede naming magawa sa mga kaibigan po namin, mga close friends namin na nakaka-experience po nitong anxiety or depression?
Okay. Actually, just be an ear to listen. Yung mga tao na may pinagdadaanan, they just want someone to listen sa kung ano yung pinagdadaanan nila. Listen without judgment, kumbaga. And if nakita mo sa sarili mo na parang medyo malalim na yung pinagdadaanan niya, 'di ba? Refer, encourage them to consult. And pag nagre-refer tayo and we encourage others, okay, be careful and mindful of your words. Okay, baka mamaya kasi, hoy, ikaw gay parang sira na din yan, ikay magpa-consult doon. May nalaman kami na pwede, kung saan ka pwede magpa-consult. So, be mindful of our words. Kasi words really hurt. Pwede like sabihin, dun sa di ba nag-share ka sa akin ng kung ano yung problema mo, and I think parang baka may mas makakatulong sa'yo. Gusto mo ba tulungan kita kung paano makaka-reach out dun sa pwedeng tumulong sa'yo? Yung kanina, di ba, na-identify na natin ano yung mga symptoms na tinabanggit natin. Kung napansin mo na meron na yung kaibigan mo, might as well encourage them to consult. Kasi yun yung nakakapag-lessen din ng stigma eh. Diba? Pero it's important really to listen. Minsan hindi nila kailangan yung advice. Hindi nila kailangan na makakarinig from us na gawin mo to, gawin mo yan, itry mo to. Hindi. Gusto lang talaga nila may makinig sa kanila. Yun yung importante doon. Okay?
Thank you so much po. Thank you po. And ayan po. So first question po natin from Nikisha po. So ano po kaya pwedeng gawin kapag sa gabi lang po nagiging productive, mga 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. lang po nalabas ang ideas? Paano po makakatulog ng enough?
Okay. Pero ito ba, yung tulog, kumari 3 a.m. ka nakatapos, kamusta yung tulog mo after? Is it good? Meron kasi, di ba, mababaw yung tulog para hindi po na maiwasan na parang ang babaw, ang dalim. So, ito, malalim naman. So, actually, it's okay. As long as you can still work productively. Diba? Magkakamit tayo ng problema dito kung talagang after you've done everything. Kasi, yun yung sarili mo eh. I mean, na-acknowledge more, aware ka na ito yung level of productivity na meron ako at this hours. Pero, kung malalim naman yung tulog, okay lang. Eventually, kung paano itatry na mag-adjust, lalo na pag yan yung nakasanayan, mahirap ang buhin eh. Ang pwede natin gawin, kung talagang gusto mong i-adjust, adjust mo ng 30 minutes ng pababa hanggang sa napapractice na natin. Kung gusto mo talaga na, yung sinabi natin na tulog ka na ang the time and 10 to recharge your body. So, yun. And parang medyo related no, Roy, itong question ni Luis na paano maiiwasan ng
Yes
insomnia
po.
kasi it's about sleep. Actually, for us, sleep is very important. So, pag may mga clients na nagko-consult sa amin, lagi namin talagang tanong is, how's your sleep? Nakakatulog ka ba ng ayos? And meron tayo mga iba't ibang tinatry, mga calming tea, yun yung mga ginagawa ng iba. Yung iba, ano pa sila, magsa-search yan sa net, ano yung mga katulong, mga umiinom daw ng mga melatonin, etc. Hindi ko alam, have you heard of that? Tapos yung iba yung mga calming musics, o kaya mga scented candles, etc. Pero sa amin, pag talagang very, very worse or severe na yung insomnia, better na mag-consult tayo sa doctor kasi yan yung mga instances na baka may medication na kailangan. So, yun yung tingnan mo. Gaano ba nakaka-apekto sa'yo? Ano na yung effect sa'yo nung hindi mo pagkakatulog? Baka mamaya, lalo na, dahil dun sa sleep problem, nagiging irritable ka na, o kaya parang may iba nang nangyayari, nagiging effect. So, baka kailangan hindi effective yung mga soft musics. Meron kasing mga medications naman na safe. Yung iba natatakot uminom ng gamot, kaya ayaw din nilang mag-consult sa doctor. No? Yun yung nag-ibig based on our experience. Kaya ayaw nilang lumapit sa doctor kasi takot sila dun sa ibibigay na gamot. Pero at one point, pag alam mo sa sarili mo that it is causing you problem, yung insomnia na yan, consult a doctor. Minsan, kung insomnia siya, not necessarily with a psychiatrist, minsan kahit sa family doctor, pwede kang lumapit para sila na yung magbibigay ng kung anong medication that will help manage your sleep or help you have a better sleep. Okay. So, yun.
So, thank you po, Miss. So, meron din po tayong mga questions about kung paano may iwasan yung anxiety, yung pagiging overthinker. Yun po.
Oo, binabasa ko yung questions niya ha, kasi yung iba dito parang closely related. No? Wait, yun ko lang. Paano po may iwasan ng anxiety or yung isa naman, what to do po when the things that makes you distracted when it comes with coping, for example, becomes unmotivating? When other things are tried, like this is still not enough to, ay sorry, wala. Okay, not enough to reduce the stress. How are we going to handle anxiety, particularly when morning anxiety attacks, especially when it happens at least one, usually 3 times a week? Okay. This is not a diagnosed anxiety. Tama? Wala pang na-consult na kahit anong professional with that. Okay. When it comes to anxiety, it's important that we identify muna ano yung nagkakos ng anxiety na meron tayo. Meron ba tayong magagawa after we identify kung ano yun? Meron ba tayong magagawa para ma-solve kung ano man yung nagkakos na yun? Or baka mamaya katulad ng pandemic na wala tayong hold, diba? Wala tayong control of anything about that. Kung meron tayong control sa kung ano man yung na-pinpoint mo, doon tayo nag-start na yung planning natin, diba? Plan A to Z, ano yung mga pwede mong gawin to address kung ano man yung mga concerns na yun. Breathing also helps. Breathing. Nasabi namin to sa mga clients namin na naka-experience ng attacks. When you do breathing exercises, practice mo yung 5-5-5. May concept tayo ng 5-5-5. Inhale for 5 seconds slowly. Hold your breath for 5 seconds. And then exhale for another 5 seconds. That's breathing exercise. Gawin mo yun 10 times hanggang sa medyo makalma ka. Again, and same with the sleep. Kung meron ka ng mga ginawa na sa tingin mo, nagawa ko na po yung A to Z, plan A to Z, parang wala pa rin nagbabago. Actually, yun yung part ng sa reach out natin. Reach out to a professional. Kung sa tingin mo parang more than normal na talaga yung nangyayari sa akin, it's causing you distress. Hindi ka na nakaka-function sa ginagawa mo because of the anxiety na nararamdaman mo, even yung mga overthinking, etc. Diba? Don't hesitate. Huwag mahihiya na mag-consult sa isang professional para ma-process. Baka kasi mamaya kailangan na ng processing kung ano yung nangyayari. Be it your guidance counselor, sa amin, sa PMHA, mamaya i-leave ko yung namin, yung contact details namin para i-flash ko pala mamaya para somehow kung kayo mismo merong mga pinagdadaanan or something, pwede kayong mag-message sa amin, 'di ba? Para doon natin mas mapag-usapan. Baka may ibang tulong na kailangan. Okay? So yun, it's important that you reach out.
Okay po. So, thank you po, Miss Christine. And as much as we want to answer po yung mga questions, so I think we don't have enough time na po. Pero we will try po na i-email to kay Miss if possible po na
Yes,
masasagot natin
or,
siya.
yun nga, ang isa is feel free to contact us sa aming Facebook. Ipa-flash ko yung details namin. Kasi ito, may question din. What if one of the problems po ay financial? Di ko afford to consult sa professional. Okay. PMHA is actually a socialized organization. So, yes, we do charge sa services, pero we are socialized. Ibig sabihin, hindi, para kami naniniwala, hindi natin pwedeng maging reason talaga ay financially hindi ko kaya kasi pwedeng may tumulong, may makakatulong sa'yo. And, here, meron din tayo, kung talagang ang kailangan is psychiatrist. Meron tayong mga psychiatrist sa Batangas Medical Center na nag-o-offer ng free service. So, kung meron din kayong kakilala na nangangailangan ng ganong service or consultations, pwede nyo silang, i-refer sa Batangas Medical Center. So, this is our contact details. Located kami sa Lipa, pero because of the pandemic, hindi pa kami tumatanggap ng face-to-face. Our contact details, contact numbers, are flashed on the screen. Pwede yung screenshot or isulat. We are open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We offer online consultations. This is our contact details, email address, and website and Facebook account. Or you can also send your message. Kunwari, question kayo na hindi na-address ngayon and you have the urge na or the need na ma-consult or masagot yung tanong na yun, feel free to message us in our Facebook account. Facebook page rather. That's Philippine Mental Health Association, Batangas Chapter. Pwede niyo din siyang i-like. I-like niyo yung page. May mga announcements kami dyan. Nag-o-offer kami, minsan kapag sa nakakita, nag-o-offer kami ng mga free webinars on about mental health. Baka meron kayong mga interest doon. Pwede nyong pa-attend din either your family or kayo mismo. Ang mga topics natin, or meron tayo about family relationships, diba? So, kasi lahat yon under the mental health. So, please do like our page para sa mga concerns nyo. Okay? And I think that's it. Yeah.
So yun po. Thank you po again, Miss Christine. So yun guys, if you have questions, yung pinlash na ni Miss Christine yung mga pwede natin lapitan if you have questions or we have concerns. So again po, on behalf po ng buong Faith College of Education and Faith Teachers League, thank you po, Miss Christine. And
Thank you so much.
And now to conclude our program, let us welcome our Dean of the College of Education, ang tita po ni Miss Christine, Dr. Vivian B. Titular, for her closing message.
Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let me just show myself. Okay.
Good
Kumusta
afternoon po,
kayo?
Doc.
I know this is a very fruitful afternoon. Okay. And we are so blessed to have this opportunity to come together. Okay. So thank you so much, Miss Kay, for being with us this afternoon. I know you are a very busy person, but you really come for us to understand more about mental health. And definitely we learn a lot from you. So thank you very much, Ms. Christine. And to end this session, okay, I would like to remind everyone to be kind to your brain and be kind to yourself. So just to share with you, this is a very good book. This is the Road Less Traveled, one of my favorites. Okay, it's an old book. And in the this is authored by Max Patrick. And he says here, life is not easy. In the very first line, he said life is difficult, starting, right? But it is true. But the thing is, when we accept the truth that there are many difficulties in life, difficulties themselves do not matter anymore. Um, one touching thing that Ms. K has shared with us is resilience. Beyond this rock is a beautiful plant, okay, and might be a flower blooming from that plant. So it's up for us how to take care of ourselves. Remember, there are a lot of people, good people around us who could support us. So in times of difficulties, be kind to your mind, be kind to yourself, and find support. Thank you once again. You will be future educators and you will be the arm of our future in raising good students in the future. Again, thank you very much for coming over, taking time to learn and unlearn many things. Tama po yung sinabi ni Ma'am Kay na alisin na natin yung stereotyping ng mental health. Okay? And let us just stand up to support one another and provide this kind of positive environment for every one of us. Good afternoon and thank you very much.
Thank you so much po, Dean Titular. So, now, before we officially end the program po, please help us improve by answering our evaluation form. So, you can answer our evaluation form through bit.do/onward_evaluate. So before I end this program, help us improve by answering our evaluation. This also serve as your attendance to the event to get your e-certificate. The evaluation link is again bit.do/onward_evaluate. Okay, so yeah. And now let us sing all the faith hymn.
This man prayed
Once again, this is Roy Vincent Montenegro, and this is Eductalk. You know the drill, guys. Turn on your microphones as we shout our battle cry. Please turn on your microphones as we shout our battle cry. Ad Astra.
First
At
Asia.
First,
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
guys.
Remember, mental health matters. Thank you, guys.